I've been doing things with wood all my life. I built some boats with Smokey over there. His father-in-law was Bubba Molina. So I built about a half a dozen of those there. And so I'm content to shoot this thing on film, to get it on film, and somebody has to be dedicated to it. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm having a really good time. A bunch of good guys here.
Was your grandfather Barney Farley Sr.?
He was Barney Sr.
He's the one who went out fishing with the president?
That's correct.
So it's your family that got the Farley Boat Works going?
My grandfather's brother was Charles Frederick Farley.
Okay, now we got it.
Charles Frederick and his two sons were the core of the Farley Boat Works,
All right.
along with Joe Allister. And that started in 1915. It's a good story. The museum's got the rights on it.
Thank you.
I'm Pat Farley. I'm out there.
He's shy. He's shy.
Island native. Had the pleasure of being able to say that I was in and out of the last two Farley Boat Works, this being the last one, the other one on White Street. Was in and out, got run off, in and out. Uncle Jim and Uncle Fred were pretty crusty, and they didn't say much, and they didn't want to hear much from little kids, so.
They didn't really like kids running around this building right here.
Correct, and you went to the boat shop with Jim and Fred, and you kind of stuck your head in, and you kind of kicked the dirt, you walked around, you kind of tested the waters a little bit, you pick up a broom, you go in and start sweeping, and you sit down and be quiet. As long as you're sweeping sawdust, you're okay. But more in the White Street than here. I really was not in this one much. This is closed, I think, in 74, 75. But anyway, I've got a little jewelry store up there by the donut shop right now. And,
You have what there? Jewelry shop?
got a little stirring jewelry store by the donut shop, and wanted to be a part of this. My dad and I built a few of these 30, 40 years ago for some people in Corpus. And I'm very excited to be a part of this again. I'm going to, like Barney, I'm going to video most of this. And then on the next one, we'll jump in and get a little more hands-on. But we're trying to document this for the museum. And this is a big deal for a lot of us. And so we're going to get it on photos and film both. And then Barney will edit it eventually and get it into something that we can all sit down and watch after it's all said and done.
You was a student of mine also when I taught school here.
That's right. Doyle taught a lot of people.
Well, stand up over there. You come over here and tell us something.
We got one more first. Dan, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm Dan Pecor. I grew up in Houston, moved down here about 8 years ago with my wife, built a house over on 12th Street, and have always loved to sail and have always loved to work with wood. Learned some stuff from my dad growing up, so kind of put the two together and have built sailboats primarily. This is the first skiff I'll be involved in, and also been helping Rick out here get this thing up and going. That's my jig there that I keep watching, because somebody's going to saw through it. But, that's how it goes.
It's who, not it's who's going to saw.
Yeah, exactly. But I've built some stuff for the museum and some furniture. I built the bell platform for the museum over there, the other museum. And very curious to see how these things go together.
We'll try to do it.
Yeah.
Glad to hear.
This is Will. Let me introduce Will. Will lives up at George West at my house. He helped me build a house with some other people, Johnny Martin Matthews. But anyway, it's a two-story house. It has 2 bedrooms upstairs. One side of the stairwell is Will's, the other side of the stairwell is mine. And he's been a real help to me. And I've got to tell you this, and Will is the first one, he can't really do hard labor. And Will, he'll be the first one to tell you he smoked himself almost to death. And Will, Go ahead, tell them a little bit where you were born and all that stuff, and who your daddy was, and what your daddy did on this island.
We came from Aransas Pass, and what brought us over here, Dad was a painter, and he was painting the tarpon end. And so he was working quite a bit over here while he was painting the tarpon end. Everybody else wanted him to start doing this, so we moved into a house just below the little chapel up there on the hill. And we came here in '56. I reckon I'm still here, but I don't have too much, but I'm still here. Still got the post office box. And I used to go visit with Fred and Jim up there at their boat shop on White Street. And I can't remember exactly which one it was, but one of them had some birds that they kept pinned up in the back, and the sparrows was always back there eating up their food. So me, I was a BB gun shooter neighbor, so I shot all the sparrows all the time. That was my job for them. They wouldn't let me fool around in the shop, but they wanted me to shoot the sparrows. And but Dad, he's always had a shrimp boat ever since we've been over here. We've had 3 or 4 different bait stands, and he went to work for the gas company. So he put in just about all the gas lines through this place and most of the meters and everything. And he was, unfortunately, he had a boating accident and passed away on a boating accident while he was out shrimping. And so there's where he went. So he's been out there for a while. And
How many boats have you built, Will?
me,
Yeah, or been participated in?
well, I've participated in probably 20 or 30 of the boats that Doyle built and whatever. I built one at the bus barn, and then I built 2 or 3 out there at the trailer park, which somebody over here has now.
I know where you built them at.
So that building,
Save that place. And the last one I built was a little runabout that was only had 1-foot sides that I cut out of, and sort of set on it like a scooter. I never totally finished it. I was going to put a steering wheel on it, but it's wound up having a tiller on it. And I let my niece have that boat. So that's where it went. That's all I can say. I ain't much of a talker.
Glad you did.
Anyway, Will, and he'd be the first one to tell you about smoking and what happened to him. And I want to tell you, he can't do too much work in here even, and he has to sit down and get some breath. And so, if you're a smoker, I would start thinking about it. I smoked for a while in my life, but I quit in 1985. But I never was a big smoker. I didn't smoke that much. Never smoked around the schoolhouse. Sometimes if I did, I went to where the kids couldn't see me.
Yeah, we can do that today.
I'll tell you what, I've been there and done it because it's hard to quit. And I didn't want those kids to see me smoking and think that I did this all the time and so forth. But I finally beat it in '85. And Will was one of my students, and he wasn't in the shop class because he was before we had a high school. He went to school down at Flower Bluff after he got through the elementary school here. And I came here in 1954, and I didn't really teach in 1954, but I came and interviewed with Henry Olson, who was the principal, the constable here at Fort Aransas, and you can see his name everywhere. And he was a tough old guy, I want to tell you that. He didn't put up with any stuff. And anyway, Lloyd Dryer, if you live in Fort Aransas, you probably know who Lloyd Dryer was. Well, he got us to stand over here at the ferry landing with the whenever we had the hurricane, one of the hurricanes, I can't tell you what year it is, I've already forgotten that, Carla.
Yep.
But he had Lloyd Dryer and I, and he's one of the fishermen that grew up on this island. His family was in it fishing, and his brothers were, and so forth like that. But he had us, stuck us down there at the Fairland. He said, these cars are gonna start leaving the island today, and a lot of help came over during this hurricane that we had. But and the doctors were giving shots up at the community center and giving everybody, and so the thing that really happened that I'll never forget, here comes the doctor. He was from Taft, and I used to remember his name because he delivered my sister back there in 1936. And
Jenkins.
Ritterman?
Dr. Jenkins.
That's, well, I knew Dr. Jenkins, but anyway, Lloyd Dryer and I turned him back and made him go back to the community center and get a shot himself. He didn't have one. He, all of them, given to all the people on the island, he didn't have a shot himself. And like I said, I came over here because the teacher placement man and professor in Kingsville at A&I College didn't have any more teachers to send out. Teachers were a shortage then. I wasn't going to be a teacher, a regular teacher. I had trying to be an agriculture teacher, an ag teacher, and I loved agriculture and so forth like that. But he said, I don't care what you want to do. He said, you need to do me a favor too. He said, you check out a college vehicle, and I want you to go over there and interview with them whether you want that job or not. And he said, I know you probably won't take it. But I came over here, and I never forgot what Dr. Rhodes had told me at Kingsville. I came over here and met only one person, Henry Olson. We didn't meet him at the school. I didn't meet him at the school. I met him at a restaurant. We had lunch, and he said, now we're going to go up to school, and we're going to walk through the school. We went up there, and there was nothing but the elementary school sitting there. There was no gym and no teacherages, nothing else but this one building out here, and on the other end of it was a little lunchroom. I guarantee you that lunchroom was about 1/6 of what this is right here. This area here was a lunchroom. I mean, there was